prophets, by you watching these different, you know, videos that's going out on the unicorn, you know, the internet, you know, and you're getting fed. But this is to build up your spirit we're entering into, and this is going to be used as a hedge for not only you, also your house. For those of y'all that may have a woman, maybe you got offspring, you know what I'm saying, certain people may be living with you. Hey, you know, hey, the Lord told the man, the Heavenly Father, Cornelius, who not an Edomite, by the way, you know, hey, the Lord said about Cornelius, you know, what about him and his house could be saved. The brother want to get that in Acts, you know. Yeah.
Hey, this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 7 and 29. Fear the Lord with all your spirit and reverence his priests.
Right, and that's really what's going to keep us locked in this thing, man, the fear of the Lord. Because we grow to understand what the Heavenly Father is capable of, and our people that's in the world, they have no idea what the Most High can do to people, and what he has planned for this earth, you know?
Verse 30.
I'm sorry, read it again, you know, we...
Ecclesiasticus 7 and 29. Fear the Lord with all your spirit, and reverence his priests.
And reverence his priests. That's where you get the word from. You know, now you have certain brothers, you know, hey, I come, you know what I'm saying, brothers lawyer. Hell, I might be lawyer, you know, the elders are high lawyer. You know, brothers from the tribe of Levi. But you know, we can come in the spirit of Levi as well by us being ministers of the law. You know, because basically now we're becoming a nation of priests, you know, kings and priests, beginning with the elect, you know. So this is how you get the word of Heavenly Father through his priest, man. Each brother is a priest now, by way of the order of Melchizedek, man. You know.
Shalom, shalom.
Love from that baby, you know, and this is what keeps you continuing
Like to
involved.
start off by giving out
Because you
glory to
love the Heavenly
Power
Father.
by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem HaKadosh. We also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. All right, brother, to get on Sirach is at 14. Let not depart of a good desire overtake thee. No, do good to thyself. The name of this live stream is going to go into spiritual hygiene. All right, because what I've been learning in this journey is that, you know, something that one of the elders in the camp, Elder Boyamian, always stresses, you know, 30% is what everybody else sees, right? 30% of what you do in this truth is what everybody else sees. You know, you're doing videos, you're doing lessons, you're on the highways and the byways, all right? But that 70% is the man behind the scene, man. And one thing I've learned is that you have to maintenance that man behind the scene. You can't neglect you. All right, and be in the spirit at the same time. So like I said, the name of this live stream is going to spiritual hygiene, man. All right? And if you have that scripture, go ahead and get it, whoever has it. Be good, do good to thyself.
Okay.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 14, verse 5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good?
So what I've been learning, all right, Most High deals with vibration, man. And he deals with spiritual hygiene. And if your inner world is filthy, you know, or your abode is filthy, and it's easy to happen in Babylon, if you don't give yourself at least one day to sort of recoup, all right, you're really not being good to yourself, man. If you eat low vibrational food, it don't put life into you. You never work out, you never go into nature. You just kind of let Babylon deteriorate you, man. Homer, you let America Homer Simpson you, man. All right, or you get off work, then you go get a beer or get some liquor, then you go and watch the game and deal with your wife or whatever. Over time, you start to decay. Now at 18, 19, 20, 21, you may not see it. But you get in your late 20s, 30s, 40s, and it's like, man, you're a whole different person than what you were when you graduated high school. Because when you were young, 18, 19, 20, your energy worked for you. But as you get older, you have to work for your energy. You have to, when you're young, your vitality is set in automatic mode. But when you're older, your vitality is set in manual. Your metabolism, you have to speed up your metabolism. You have to have a regimen to speed up your metabolism. All right? Go ahead, bro.
Okay. 14
You know,
and 5.
so I mean, let's say you was an agent in the beginning, which you know is huge, but
Start
you
from top.
could have been
He that is evil to himself,
You know?
to whom will he be good?
instead of you.
He shall not take pleasure in his good.
So, and look,
you gonna die.
I can speak for myself, Elder Kazak. Hey man, we were men that really wanted to give ourselves wholly to the industry, to the ministry. When we came into the knowledge, I was going to say industry. We really wanted to give ourselves, but we didn't understand. I speak for myself. That you still have to maintenance yourself, man. You know, you still got a beard on your face. You know, you still got certain things you got to do. You can't feel guilty because you want to go out and see a movie. You know, you still got to leave the house. If not, your mind is going to resist the scriptures. All right, so you got to find that balance. All right.
Jumping down to verse 14. Defraud not thyself of a good day, of the good day, and let not the part of a good desire overpass thee.
And what I've learned, man, is put a little time, like premeditate your day off. Premeditate what you're gonna do on your day off. You might have an irregular schedule where you have Monday off, Tuesday, maybe Sunday. But just like do good to yourself. Go to a museum, walk around one of those botanical parks. Do what works for you, man. Or you might have a line of shows on Netflix that you might watch. But always keep your vibration up, man, and make an effort to stay balanced, man.
Like I add to what you're saying, be focused in that day. You know, because one thing about Babylon, it have us so over-occupied with, you know, how limited we are in resources, which we have to be disciplined with whatever we bring in, you know, to make sure it cover our overhead. But if you have enough to enjoy the day, man, just focus on enjoying that day. You know, we have food for the day. You know, if you want to drink out here, you can get you a bottle. You got enough to afford that. Well, really, you're rich in that day because you have everything you need, plus your little simple pleasure. So, you know, really unwind and just appreciate the day. You know, like the elder brother getting into, you know, he said, defraud not thyself of a good day, not the good thing overpass. You know?
Right, because you got Saturday off, but you too focused on bills and this and that, so you're not just basking in the moment. Well, whatever problem you're going to have it anyway. So what I've learned, your inner world determines your outer world. So your inner world is not on point, your spiritual hygiene is low, your vibration is low. You're not gonna feel rich off a beautiful day that the Lord made. Even if it's in Babylon. You're not gonna feel rich by walking around a body of water, seeing the sun bright in the sky, seeing birds fly past you. That's the richness, like you said. Feeling good, that's a richness.
All right. Now this Matthew 6, we get to a point, 33. Seek kingdom of Yahweh Bahashim Shah above all else and live righteously, and he will give you everything you need. So don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries.
I did a little live shirt yesterday morning, right? And there was two things in my mind that I wanted to get. And basically, when I looked at my budget, when I was at the store, I was like, damn. It's gonna be my whole budget. But the time on the clock or the time somewhere said 6:33.
Yeah.
And it was like, it said, I don't know if I was looking at the clock, I was looking at something during that moment, and it said 6:33. And the most time allowed me enough money to get the thing that I needed for that day, man. Hey, and you gotta live like a bird. A prudent man look at well to his going. So you live within the confines of your means, but you still got to be like a bird in the sense that you grateful for what the Lord give you that day, man.
All right, great. So back again in Matthew 6 and 34 NLT. So don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today's trouble is enough for today.
Today's trouble is enough for today. And
go ahead, bro.
Okay, this is Philippians chapter 4, verse 5 and 6. Let your moderation be known unto all men. The Lord is at hand. Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to Yahweh Shah. And peace of the Most High, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Yahweh Shah.
You want to expound on that?
You know, don't be bogged down by too much, but focus on Yahweh Shah in the day. In the day, like you giving Thanksgiving, you being thankful for your day, for the things you get in that moment. You know, you ain't gotta be too rich, you ain't gotta be too poor, but just be thankful and you good.
Yeah, able body. You know, that's something we was talking coming up. It's like far as like you never know what somebody else they going through something worse than you are. You know, so that type of keeps you in more so of a humility, you know, a humble type of mindset. Because somebody out there is going worse situation than you are.
I didn't have to, no matter what I didn't have, we didn't have to ask our neighbors for rights. You know? We didn't have to ask our neighbors for rights, man. You might not have had the most latest name brand clothing. Your mom might not have had the best vehicle, but you had your needs, man. And now that I'm a grown man in this truth, and I'm grateful for those lessons, man.
Appreciate it more.
You appreciate it more. And it just sucks. Well, I'm not, you know, I was gonna say this sucks, you know. A lot of men got women, right? Most brothers, they kind of simple. But now you got this woman that she always looking at the Joneses. Nah, man. Yeah, man. Hey, man, if you could get off work and go fishing, that's a blessing. If you can get off work and do calisthenics in the park, that was your blessing for the day. I heard this guy, I think his name was something Owens. It might have been David Owens. But he was like, the action was the reward. If you got out and exercised for the day, that was the reward. If you raised your vibration for the day, that was the reward. You'll get the results later. Your body will tone up later. But if you was able to exercise, break a sweat, you know, maybe have some little downtime, feel good, that was the reward, man.
That's the biggest release of. They say exercise, you know, food, then sex. You know, the biggest releases that was good for me, but they had exercise at the top. You know, but going back to what you were saying, well, we have to understand now. When I'm realizing, this something I'm just realizing that because we get such caught in the rat race of this American scheme, you know, to produce and consume, is that we forget, all right, that moments are more valuable than money at times. You know, like it's the moment. That's why you really you spend time to produce moments, because you look at your childhood, what do you remember? You remember the moments. Those things are valuable, man. Like those, this is what made us in the moments. The moments you had with your father, the moments you had with your mother, your big brothers, your cousins. Those moments, that's really what formed our character, man. You know, so now it's a thing now, just really basking in moments, man. Like the moments that we have, you know, with the brothers, you know, the moments that we, like you said, the downtime that you have after work, man. Because there's nothing wrong with unwinding, and that's something I'm trying to get into more too, just having conversations with the family, man. Where everybody's not in the phone, like just sit down and have it. Because what's the like, it's a sense of peace. You remember, I know you brothers know, like when you have these conversations with either your family or the brothers, and you just reminiscing and laughing at old stories, like they do something that this phone don't do. Looking at TikTok all day, like that conversation, that moment, y'all, and then you know how time go by fast when you in that moment, just reminiscing it, you know. So, nah, man, like you live a culture that really was about the moment, man. We enjoyed each other's company, man.
And they did a study on people from Blue Zone diets. Blue Zone, people who live to be like 100, and they said that they all have community. They all have these parts of the week where everybody's together, they sing and dance. But I have reason to believe that lifts up their morale. And I believe when you lift up your spirits like that, that gives you extended life. It only makes sense. If depression can unalive you, then feeling good can extend life. You know, being around people you love, like you said.
Before I get this, I got another one, but I want to add something. Like recently, I think it was yesterday, I had a work dinner, right? I had to go to a work dinner. Now, everybody, we was at a work dinner, but everybody was in their phone. Nobody's not really communicating.
Right.
You know, Esau Edom has printed this device as a snare, because if it don't have us divided, it has us ignoring each other. So there's no getting together. There's no getting together to work out a solution. Or say, hey, look at this problem, let's do this problem. No, they just let the problem happen, let somebody else solve it. This is Philippians chapter 4, verse 6 again, the NLT. Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell Yahweh Shem Al Shah what you need, and thank Him for all He has done.
That's another thing we have to remind is being thankful for the moment that we have now. Because really, we got abundance in everything, man. You know, because guess what? This is rare. You know, relationships are a rare thing in this society, man. But here it is, we're rich in relationships, man. We might not have this world riches, but we're thankful for the relationships that we have. Man, look at the network of body that we have. You can go state to state and plug into a system to where everyone cares about your well-being, man. That's rare in this society, man. You see, billionaires, trillionaires don't even have that, man, because they're treacherous against each other, man. So these trustworthy relationships that we develop over the years in the ministry, man, that's a very valuable thing. And see, you really gonna see the value of it when this place shut down and these people become real grimy and dog eat dog versus one another, man. You know?
Yeah, that's like you just think about like that type of bonding right now with this new brotherhood, you know, that we're being introduced to. And meanwhile, the rest of the world, the love of me is waxing cold.
Right.
So on the right hand side, you say you've been plugged into Yahweh Shai, which is that spirit of brotherhood, man. The Lord, He loves that.
We're rich, bro.
That's an acceptable sacrifice, man.
Like you said, bro, we're rich. And hey, these brothers, man, I don't even have to say I love these brothers. They know it. You know what I mean? And I know they love me, and when I'm wrong, they tell me. Like, bro, we rich. You know? We look out for each other, we check on each other's progress. You might have said something Wednesday that you focused on. Well, Sunday, we're gonna ask you about the update. So you ever get that worked out? Yeah. You know?
It be genuine too.
It's genuine.
You know? Yeah.
And my job is cutthroat. People, you coming in through a temp agency, they watching you fuck up. They laughing when you fuck up. They know you're not gonna make it. Come on, man. All right, you got it, bro.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 15. Then I commended mirth, because a man have no better thing under the sun than to eat, drink, and to be merry, that they shall abide with him of his labor the days of his life, which Yahweh shall giving him under the sun.
And that's King Solomon, right?
Come.
No, this is the richest man in the world. But the happiest things is what that a man can have?
It's to eat and drink and to be merry, for all shall abide with him of his labor the days of his life, which Yahweh shall giving him under the sun.
Those moments. Because imagine doing that with your wife. Imagine doing that with your brothers. Because even if a Most High bless you with a rib that you agree with, that's happiness. You've experienced little chicks that y'all wasn't really into it with each other. It didn't last long. You was annoyed all the time. Then you had that real. It was like, man, this is cool. So that came from the Most High. A woman that you agree with, man. Just get to speak on that too. You know, one of the things that fulfilled his heart was seeing a man and a woman who agreed. You know, you got it, bro.
And just to add to what you're saying, that's the balance of it. Because we speak about women all the time, and every brother's situation is different, man. You know, so if you're a brother, that's one thing that we have to be mindful of, because we locked in. And the scripture says they have wives be as though they had none. So it's going to be moments, all right, where we're going to be out of pocket because we're so tapped into this. But then the Lord gives us those openings to where we can go enjoy the family for a little bit and get back to the business, you know? So don't never neglect that. That opening is there. Don't neglect the opening, you know? So that brings balance to the whole situation. That keeps everybody, you know, in that harmony, man.
Right.
Yeah.
We're going to lease that,
Yeah, this is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 6. It says, but godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can bring nothing out. And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content.
I think it was Bob Marley that said, you have people that are so poor that all they have is money. And see, when you're content, it's because you have an inner richness. You got a good relationship with the people that matter. All right, you're healthy. All right, there's a documentary on Netflix called Feel Rich. You know, people who exercise and they eat clean to the best of their ability, they feel rich, man. When you got millionaires, it's bedridden, man. All right, and if you can monitor our happiness, I guarantee you is higher than any millionaire in America, man. We ain't worried about nothing. Because we know that we've put our life force behind something that can never be compromised, never be taken. That can never, you know, we put our stocks into a kingdom that's going to inevitably come. So as far as being rich, man, you got millionaires that go broke, then they jump off some skyscraper, man. Now, our happiness, you can't compare it, man.
Not linked to this world.
Yeah, because you got a Jake that's a millionaire, but man, his whole family is reaching off on him. What you got, bro?
This is Sirach 30 and 21. Give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thy own counsel.
You know how liquor could force you to feel good? Man, exercise can force you to feel good, man. You stay consistent with being in nature. Of course, you pray and you fast, but that's a form of, how can I put this? Almost spiritual power, for lack of better words, to not let things affect you. Because we detox. Yeah, hey, you right, bro. Hey, that's a flex to spiritually transcend above the everyday life, man. To where spiritually you're not even here. Physically you're here, but spiritually you're on such a high wave that the things that happen don't even affect you like that.
Yeah, that's why Yahushua told the wicked Jews that you are from beneath,
I am from above, man.
You know, he wasn't talking about like social status. He was just pretty much talking about within the spiritual mindset. You know,
His frequency was on the whole nother level.
yeah, man.
Because them niggas was they had the material things on wicked niggas from the scribes and Pharisees, you know, but they was on a low level because they was pleased with being a dupe boy for the Romans, man.
Yep, right.
Nah, man. Nah, that's why it's so vexing that we have to check into these jobs and shit, man, because we know we of a high vibration. Like we have a way higher purpose than some fucking assembly line, man. You know, some goddamn plant. All right, safety meeting and shit. You know, the forecast meeting and shit. You know what I mean? Like it's vexing because we know we serve such a high purpose, man, that we gotta dumb down for this shit, man.
Even if they say you have a shot, they on something else.
Yeah.
As soon as you, because Monday your frequency drops, your vibration drops, man. You know?
This is back into it. It says the gladness of the heart is the life of man, and the joyfulness of a man prolonging his days.
The gladness of the heart, hey, that's the spirit then.
Back what you just said.
So happiness does prolong in life, man. That's why you have like genuine happy couples,
Yep.
and they are both live to be 80,
Yep.
70, 80,
Yep.
you know, but they were genuinely happy. They had a lot of good moments together, man. You know, I believe that, and I speak in the carnal sense, but traveling is probably good for the spirit. Reading, traveling. I've run across couples, that's what they do. And they've done it for decades together. They just travel the world, man. You know? But yeah, see, the king of Babylon, he wants you to eat that processed food, that pot pies, the chicken nuggets, that liquor, that cheap beer, that cheap liquor.
Stay within that 10, 15 mile radius.
Stay within that 10, yeah. You on Tinder talking to the females in that 10 to 15 mile radius. It's all low frequency. That's the same person that got all type of pills they got to pop are for their health issues, man. They're dealing with depression. That's the new age terminology. Anxiety, mental health, depression. Like,
All that shit is escapism.
yeah, you was born into a tablet.
You're born into a paradise, but you have a culture of escapism.
Come on now.
The earth is paradise.
Yeah.
So something gotta be wrong with the rulership, man.
Something has to be wrong with the leadership.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 26 verse 4. Whether a man be rich or poor, if he have a good heart towards the Lord, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance. You know, you with the Lord, you have your mind on the Lord, you focus on the Lord, you know, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be good because you ain't worried about materialistic things. You ain't worried about this world because you move into something higher, something greater.
They say God in Christ more than
Ain't nothing like getting that confirmation that the Lord dealing with you. Because there's no higher validation that a man can have than the validation of his father. And if he has a big brother, his big brother, man. So we're constantly getting these validations from the Heavenly Father and his son, Yahushua, which is our big brother, man. So we don't need to be popular amongst Eve. We don't need to get dapped up by all the niggas in the club, man. We don't need that shit because our heart cheerful because we know the highest two beings in existence is dealing with us, man. You know, and it's an inner peace that you can't get from this world, man.
I be having thoughts like, if I'm good with the Lord, I'm straight. I'm good with the Lord, I'm straight. Because you know, ain't nothing this world or people can do to actually harm you. Say they killed a body, you know you're going to be with the Lord.
Real quick. And then on top of that, just imagine if Bill Gates is cool with you. Well, Bill Gates could drop dead tomorrow.
Yeah.
So all your little rape, your little cronism, they go out the window.
That happened with Joseph.
Oh yeah,
When Pharaoh died.
Yeah.
That next Pharaoh put the whole all of them in slavery.
Yeah. Like, what is it? Come on, man. But if the Most High with you, who can really be against you? You know?
I got some more on this.
You got it, bro.
It says, love thy own soul and comfort thy heart. Remove sorrow far from thee, for sorrow have killed many, and there is no profit therein.
Now the scripture says bodily exercise profiteth little, but we're learning that that bodily exercises, it removes sorrow, depression. We're already in the truth.
Yep.
So you praying, you doing these videos, doing these lessons, and you exercise, you eating clean, man, that puts you on a high frequency, man. Being in a high vibration in Babylon is like a value. You know, that's valuable, man.
If I can read it again,
Yep.
it says, love thy own soul. And see, we have to have a value of ourselves, man. You know, because as young Israelite men, you know, Jake was taught to what? Look at himself with low self-esteem, man. Poor self-image is what you call it, man. But now, man, we're the sons of God, man. And we're capable of ruling the universe in righteousness, man. And we have to move in that manner, man. There's people that don't even deserve to be around us, man. And it's not moving with pride, it's moving with a sense of value, man. You know, because we are an important part of what the Lord is about to bring to the earth, man. And we have to value ourselves, man. Going back to what we talked about earlier, man, these people that come from these generational wealth and these names that go back to the 15, they got a certain, you know, you can feel it on them. Like, they ain't finna sell nothing, anything. You ain't finna have access to them like that, you know? And reading on, but we developing that love, you know, of having a value for ourselves in Yahweh by Shema Shah. But when you read,
And that was something about like King Charles, like out there, you know, UK.
yeah.
Like he carries like over 100 people just to go like cook his food.
Yeah.
All his food gotta be totally organic. You know what I'm saying? He carries his own personal toilet seat. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? It shows that he's in a kingly mindset. You know.
That comes from that conditioning, man. Like, no, this name means something, you know. So we're Yahshua, it means something, man. And then we're serving the Lord in righteousness and meekness and humility. Because we ain't out here defrauding nobody, we're not here exhorting nobody. You know, like Scripture say, we have no guile, man. We're just out here serving the Lord in all honesty and humility, man. And the Lord values that, man. You know, so it says, and comfort thine heart, which thy mind, remove sorrow far from thee, for sorrow hath killed many, and there is no profit therein. And I brought that back out to expound, like, brothers, if you're in a toxic situation, man, you gotta get out that shit, man. That shit killing you, man. That toxic shit will literally kill you, man. It's a motherfucker that's all that you never good enough for. Nothing that you do is never good enough. They always egging you. You know, whether it's a woman, whether it's your homeboys that you used to be with, because you know there's a lot of believers just coming in, man. Like, if you in a toxic situation, that shit really is a plague of the mind. That's a demon that's trying to destroy you, man. You know, so you said remove far from thee sorrow, and that's what that toxic shit. You need to cut that shit off. If the thought of this motherfucker make you sad and shit, like, you need to get rid of that motherfucker, man. You know, real talk. You know,
Cortisol level out of whack.
Your phone ring and this motherfucker, your heart drop, man. Like, no, man, we ain't supposed to be living like that, man.
Protect your peace.
Yeah, that gaslighting shit, like you always going through, man. You know, you gotta go.
Now I'm just saying, like, that toxicity, you know, it's like aligned with stress. So the more your body becomes stressful, then the more acidic it becomes.
Yep.
And the more sicknesses you'll be more capable of getting or vulnerable to.
And you sure right, depression, your immune system weaker, you know? Hey, that's them and protect the peace, man.
Because we already overwhelmed already with the bullshit that comes with this world. You gonna add some more toxic shit to your situation.
That's what the brother read. That's what makes great sense. Because
And you know, go ahead, bro.
No,
Hey, and like I said, practice loving yourself, man. Yeah, that text come across your phone, and your vibration drop. You know, you're like, oh shit. Hey, and some women ain't worth fucking, man. I'm a man talking to a man. Hey, certain pussy ain't. And this bitch, hey, she always asks you for some shit you don't have, and she don't respect your schedule, and Nah, them little chicks, man. Yeah, we got our liberty, but them little chicks ain't worth messing with, man.
She ain't bringing no value to the table, man.
She ain't bringing no. She ain't bought you nothing.
Yeah, she's no good for you.
Yeah.
I was just about to say something about that. Coming out of 4-1. Just because, she might look good to you, you might, do your thing. Just, focus. If she vibe with you, that's good. As the scripture says, if she please dwell with you, yeah. If she ain't, don't do it. Don't do it. Of course.
And don't chase nothing. No. Cause you breaking down elegantly heritage. Because if people act a certain way, their names go back to the 1500s. How much more whose name goes back to Abraham, who the Most High dealt with personally, man. So we gotta actually live what we teach. So we ain't running after nothing. But I speak from this from your flesh, have you chasing some rabbit, man.
You gotta look like a clown.
You ever heard looking like a clown, man? So Kings cut off.
Yeah.
Kings cut off, man.
I was watching this series. It's called I forgot the name of it on Netflix, but they had the virtual reality glasses where they had to go back in time to different time periods and try to fix something before. They were trying to fix it. It was like a scientific movie. But the main point is they went into a time and it was like that during the time of like Ishmael was in there, they had their caliphate, Islamic kingdoms. So the woman would come from the modern world, they put the glasses on, they go back in time. So when the woman got there and she was trying to see, was this man real? So she reached out and touched him and what's the name of it?
Three-body problem.
Three-body problem, that's the name of it. But she went out and touched this man who was an ancient noble, and he leaned back. He said, "Bitch, I'm nobility. Don't touch me." You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Shit, I'm nobility." He leaned back, and she was trying to see was he real. She was in the virtual. He reached out. She said, "Oh, I'm noble blood. Don't touch me." You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like nah, man, like America has beat us down so much, man. I say it ain't anything of pump, no, it's a thing of value, man. Like, no, man, y'all scrag, majority of scrag hoes don't deserve to be in the same vicinity as a trans, you know?
There were three of them.
Yeah.
I sneezed 3 times. The water. Did you just go through that?
Well, yeah, I got a quick one. Okay, cool. There's a little quote right here for you all. It says, "Don't be afraid to lose people. Be afraid of losing yourself by trying to please people."
Hey, protect your peace. And part of gaining that ruler class mentality, part of getting that self-esteem back, is you unplug from black culture. Because when you around certain people like Eve and niggas, you play into their perception of life.
Yeah.
See, in their culture, you were nobody again, or you gotta have money to build somebody. And Eve, she does this little gaslighting stuff, where even if she notices you, she gotta do this mind trickery to where it's like you're still beneath me.
Yeah.
It's like you can't help if you're handsome, right? You're a handsome guy, but she still does these little microaggressive things in her eyes to kind of show you, like, why you look so mean when you're looking at me?
Yeah.
If it's obvious I'm nice looking, why are you looking so mean when you're looking at me? You still gotta do this little gaslighting stuff, that manipulative shit to where it's like I'm in your world, trying to holler at you. It's a chase. And kings don't chase.
And this Ecclesiasticus 10 and 28 in the GNT. "My child, keep your self-respect, but remain honest. Value yourself in the true word."
Because other translations, it say glorify thy soul with meekness, or keep your self-respect but be humble. So there's a beautiful balance in being humble, but also having self-respect. And people who treat you like shit, nah.
So I was saying, like, becoming the best version or the best version of yourself comes with a lot of good bias.
That's right.
Because a lot of people see that you're coming to a new mindset. Pretty much you're being.
People around us feel comfortable, man. We're gonna be what we're gonna be. Now, we in this society, so we know that there's things that we're gonna have to be susceptible to, But then there has to be a point as a man to where, like, nah, man, we got certain boundaries, we got certain red lines, and we ain't compromising we ain't moving on it, man.
I've been watching these videos about, self-esteem and stuff like that. A couple videos. It's one that says, be okay with people not liking you. Because there are people that will love you.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be okay with, you know,
And say it again, bro.
be okay with people not liking you. Because there are going to be people that love you. You know?
That's
You know?
perspective, man.
Hey, oh, go ahead.
I won't get the scripture.
It's all good. So it said, value yourself and your true worth. There is no excuse for a person to run himself down. No one respects a person who has no respect for himself.
And look, and you realize when you cut off certain vices, hey, you get your self-respect back. Because lust, the hell you chasing a little rabbit. You know what happens when you chase a rabbit? So, hey, lust, the hell you chasing little females, putting up with their little ratchet bullshit. But that lowered your self-esteem trying to get some bucks. But when you cut off that lust part of you, then you really cut off them. And you cut off them, your value and your inner morale increase, man.
That type of discipline right there.
And the same thing with liquor, man. Hey, brothers, you know, like, got their little thing, right? Every brother got his thing. But you realize there was certain things in your life that was the catalyst to you doing all this other bullshit. So when you cut off certain little habits, it lowered your vibration and it made you run after the wrong shit. So when you cut that off, now your spirit is cleaner, your confidence is higher, and a lot of that starts with self.
The more disciplined we are, the more the Lord can trust us.
Yep.
You know, because it takes a certain amount of discipline, you know, to have things. You know, that's why you see, like you said, unless you did not too long ago, that people having lack of resources is really saving their life.
Yep.
You know?
Oh yeah.
You know, so it's like the more discipline you have, the more the Lord can trust us with, because the Lord knows, all right, where our discipline level at. If you give us certain things, we'll destroy us. Yep.
And that's if you want.
Proverbs chapter 31, verse 3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings.
Now look at the word ways. Can we get that on the Blue Letter Bible? Ways for edification? Because part of that way is like a way of life. Don't give your way of life over to that which destroyeth kings, which brothers was tying into elegantly anyway. So in self-indulgence, that's a way that destroys kings. You don't have a moderation, like you don't have a guidelines to your vices. Like I'm only gonna spend this amount of money on my vices. And if you don't have that, just cut it off. Because if you don't, it's gonna cut you off. Nor thy ways to that which destroy kings. All your energy is going behind some box.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Trying to be popular, pass some clout, and then that's rooted back in trying to get boxed.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, look at that.
And it's like, bro, why put all this? I was just thinking, man, why put all this life force behind a woman that'll take from you?
Yep.
If you gotta project that you got money, that's you leading with your money. You set the tone for how she gonna perceive you, how she gonna deal with you.
Yep.
You want a woman that's gonna add to you, man. All right. All right, you get that word first.
Dead right.
Gotta roll the R with it, brother. Joking.
This
And the rock.
In that Hebrew, yeah.
is the biblical outline usage for way, road, destiny, journey, manner.
Manner. So you shouldn't give your manner to a way that would destroy kings. And the first thing I think of is indulgence, man. All right? Yeah.
King
Listen,
Solomon.
listen to a woman. Adam listened to a woman and then overthrew his kingdom. And when I think of Adam, I think of Will Smith. It's like he let Jada Pinkett Smith and look at it and destroyed him and his legacy,
Got
man.
looking like a clown.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna get E and F of course of life, of moral character.
Like you say, evil have you on that dark shit. Even when you go to nigga Alizar, who's in the mix of all that darkness, man?
Eve.
Goddamn Eve.
And nobody, pinpointed her.
Yeah.
She's a callous
Yeah.
situation.
You know, playing into that shit.
Yeah.
Even when you deal with harlots, right? And if you ever stumble across the website, they into that shit.
Yeah.
They into the pagan shit.
yeah.
They offer that service, man. So Eve always in the middle of that weird left field shit. got it,
I
bro.
want to add the reason why somebody, like a lot of these young dudes want to become a YN is to what? To Eve. They giving up their moral character to become this wicked, degenerate monster. You know?
And who did that video? I think you did that video. Dude was asking all these little colored girls what type of man they like. And it was like, he gotta be a YN. He gotta be a rat. That was dude that did that video on this. And it was like just a collage of Eve talking about he gotta be a thug, he gotta be a YN, he gotta be the type of nigga that's gonna pop for. It's like, and niggas know when they get around Eve, they know subconsciously what type of mode they gotta walk. Yeah, man. Get the sag. You now you subconscious that your pants way up here. You subconscious, let me pull it down a little bit. You know what I mean? Now you gotta act like you're a rebel in class. You might have been a good student, man. Teachers liked you and shit. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Make poor grades
Intentionally. You gotta play dumb like you don't know the answer. Knowing damn well you know the answer, man. You study.
You gotta ruin your future.
Yeah.
Just for the hopes of this bitch attention.
Come on, man. You never ask yourself that question? Like, why I gotta be a short life expectancy nigga for a black woman to like me? The type of dude she don't like, the type of dude that she like is not conducive to living like our grandparents.
Yep.
We're not gonna have a 50-year marriage with the type of guy that you into. All right?
You just getting a wild animal. Like you're getting something that's absolutely worse. Because you gotta think everything is getting worse, you know? Because even like we talk about the box shit, that's getting worse. You know? Like this generation getting ran through so early. Shit, by the time you get there, it's nothing.
Yep. It ain't no way if you woke up on hard, now you inside of her, you not on hard no more. Like something ain't right. You know what I'm saying?
It's Jeremiah 2:33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love?
Cause Eve be giggling at that shit. When Jake be on that street shit, or Jake could be on that wild shit, Eve be giggling. Like she like that shit. And Jake know that. And it's like if you just a quiet, mild mannered nigga, she don't like that shit. That's like eating food that's not seasoned to her.
Yep.
I peeped that.
Yep. And that's why you have niggas like these niggas, that nigga Kyrie Lacy, that nigga that killed himself from LSU. What was he imitating? A young nigga. Talent, you know, so well, all you gotta do is go catch a goddamn football and be a billionaire.
Yeah.
But you want to imitate young nigga behavior, now you out of here, man. Another nigga, I think Isaiah Bun, nigga from Texas, super athlete, was gonna be first round. He missed out on millions trying to do what, man? Imitate young niggas, man. It's like you have niggas that throw away their career trying to imitate young niggas. That nigga, and then Morant is a catalyst for that shit. Like we say, he's a character to get these athletes to crash out, man. Because he got so much influence. Esau got that nigga playing that dumbass character where he try to bring that young nigga shit to the league. Because Esau needs these young niggas to crash out. Because you gotta think about it, there's only so many spots in the NBA and the NFL. Esau don't need all you niggas. It's really an oversupply. Because most Jake fast and can jump. You just pick one out and cultivate this nigga, he can be the next whatever. So he really needs you niggas to crash out more than anything. That's why he got niggas like Morant to bring that YN shit to the league to get these young niggas to keep crashing out.
So they get downside.
Yeah. So you can, cause now they got a penalty to where you can't do gun gestures. Like that wasn't even a thing, but now all these niggas in the sports, they catch a pass, then they do the gun gesture. You catch a pass and you shoot the nigga you caught the pass on, like the gun gesture.
They
Like,
do the wipe the nose too.
yeah, all this shit.
Yeah, that's the penalty now.
Yeah.
Now this nigga try to be creepy upgrade. Now he throwing grenades.
Oh, yeah.
He throwing a grenade in the crowd. And he doing this when he run out. You know? And you see what Esau setting up as a character, he's doing it in one of the most deplorable cities within America, Memphis. You know? That's like really the peak of young niggas right there. Even in the city.
Like niggas from like Atlanta don't want to go to Memphis. Like, yeah, a dude made a joke about it. He was like, "Fuck no, I ain't going to Memphis." You know what I mean? But there was another point. Cause like going back to Jake running fast and jumping high, that's not special. Correct me if I'm wrong. The thing that's really elite is the training program. Esau got the training programs that'll make the average Jake great. If you got these training facilities from the time you're in high school, by the time you get done with the college with these training facilities, you are an elite player. You know? Like everybody knows Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, they got these training programs that when you make it out of it,
system.
Yeah, come on, man. It's a system.
All right, so back again, Jeremiah 2:33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love?
Yeah, and why I notice, man, if you grow up in black culture, you're gonna have low self-esteem, man. Because the standard of acceptance is perverted. So if you're normal, they think something is wrong with you. If you mind your business, they might not even bother you. You're just not gonna be that guy. It's a very good chance you being yourself, you're not gonna get the woman you want.
You got to value yourself or make your life dangerous to get value, man.
Yep.
That's the dumbest thing. No creature on earth does that. No animal, no nothing in existence does that. You know, even you go to predatory animals, they still walk with discretion.
Yep.
You know, a lion just not out wilding on everything that he's throwing in. All right. They hunt trying to eat. They hunt what they trying to eat. You know, they not just out there bullying motherfuckers. They strong there. No, they don't do that. You know, the only people that has that behavior is the tribe.
And I just make a point. About a year after I came into the truth, I ended up getting like a studio apartment.
Yeah.
And that's when I started healing. Because I had moved from my neighborhood. And I wasn't tapped into none of my neighbors and none of that shit. And that's when I experienced something called peace. I ain't had no rib. I just had a studio apartment with a futon mattress. But that's when the bigger brothers got us into cleansing and detoxing and stuff. But long story short, just that solitude, I'm like, man, bro, you gotta get away from so-called black people. You get away from so-called black people, your mind start healing.
You take that ceiling off.
Come on,
Because
man.
nigga closer to the ceiling is at the ground.
Yep.
You know, because like you say, it's a backwards value system to where you devalue yourself to get value amongst people with no value. You see? So the ceiling is the ground. Because you're going backwards to the ground. That's why each generation gets worse. The thing that they value, it gets worse. You know? Yeah, I had some finish this. It says, verse this is Sirach 30:24, it says, envy and wrath shorten the life.
That's black culture. It's real rap, street culture. Come on, man. Envy and rap.
Yep.
All right.
And carefulness bringeth age before thy time, which is worrying.
Yeah.
A cheerful and good heart will have care of his meat and diet.
And on a spiritual level, that meat and diet is your lifestyle. Of course, you're supposed to, as an Israelite, you take on to that Mediterranean way. You know, grilled chicken, you know, leafy greens, you know, Mediterranean. All right, but ultimately that meat and diet is really your lifestyle, man. Which is really, look, man, going in early, taking morning walks, praying, fasting, that's your meat and diet.
I'm getting into two. I see it's better to really like have that feast spirit in the daytime.
Yeah.
Like that nighttime shit, you can tell it go back to the heat because the spirit be different.
Yeah.
Like that nightlife shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like the spirit different. You know, like brothers, you gotta liberally move around. But like that late night shit, like that's not the lifestyle. Now every now and then you might find yourself out there on the scene in the cooler spot, but really like that spirit that we feasted in the day. You know, like in the light, man.
And in the way by like circadian rhythm, when the sun is the highest in the sky, they say this really when you're supposed to eat your heaviest meal. But I've noticed that your spirit blossoms like a flower when you have a cutoff time, because you got to give way to that spiritual man, and you have the best sleep when you have that cutoff time. To be comments, you go ahead, Captain Squat.
Oh, that was it.
Get back to Jeremiah 2:33 again. All right, it says, why trimmest thou thy way to seek love, and therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy way.
And you look at our people, they trim their weight. Even to fit in with Esau. Like, look what these niggas got to do. All right, to fit in with Esau, these celebrities, these high up, even these podcast guys, these athletes. Look at the way that they got to destroy themselves to fit into Esau's realm of celebrity, man. You know, to seek love amongst Esau's celebrity world, man. Look what Jake has done, destroyed themselves, man. And none of these guys really healthy, man. The actors that look that healthy are the ones that stay farthest away from that shit. Like, you look at Denzel, he's starting to look sick now.
Yeah, he does.
You look at Samuel L. Jackson, you see how he looks, he been shriveled up. You know, even the nigga Al Sharpton, you know, Chris Brown, you look at these guys, Lil Wayne, you know, you can see that they have terrible health.
It doesn't add up.
Yeah, it doesn't add up, you know. But you see the ones that stayed away from it, you know, they probably still got a little money, man. They still got a little go. Like you seen that Maxwell Tiny Desk.
Oh yeah.
You seen how young and vibrant. You know what I'm saying? You seen I know Ryan Leslie. You know he had a tiny desk, man, but he had the grades, but he still had that young. You know what I'm saying? But that's how you know. Going back into it, man, like the stress, because once you do that wicked shit that them niggas gotta do, like that's a continual stress, because they can't never forget that shit. You know, like that's why they got these drugs and that shit trying to escape and that's deteriorating their health, man. You know, but nah, man, like we're abundance, man. We got relationships, you know, we got this wisdom, and then we got so much to look forward to, man. And that's a cheerful heart. Just to think about what we got to look forward to, man. You know.
We just feel like being optimism, while the rest of this world where they pessimistic right now. You know, about things going on, it's all filled with them. But we got some looking forward, and through the spirit, we looking beyond America. We looking forward to an everlasting rulership that we're gonna be involved in. You know.
And our investment working.
Yeah, man.
Like people that invest into this world, that shit failing them. You know, going back to Esau, he invested in all these enchantments, but guess what? He still can't stop the profits from being raised. You know, so all that he invested into that is failing him. Okay, he's investing into this new money system, but it's leading to a war that's going to destroy them. So everything that this man is investing in is destroying them. And he even investing into that strong, independent shit. Like that shit is failing now.
Yep.
See, all this shit is failing, and the only thing that's is what we have our hope in.
Hey, I just got a notification we're going into Trump on if the U.S. will enter a recession. This nigga said anything can happen. So, why you want to put your investment, your emotional investment into something like that?
Right.
It's Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 15. Travel not by the way with a bold fellow, lest he become grievous unto thee, but he will do according to his own will, and thou shalt perish with him through his folly. You know, you falling after bold fellow like a street nigga or Esau. You falling after his ways, going with him. The things he doing is stressing you out. You trying to imitate him, you got to follow his lead. That can get you destroyed, that can ruin your life, and have you out of your moral character.
Yeah, we don't, hey man, we ain't got nothing to prove to these people. But it's a lot of power in going home early, man. There's a lot of power in staying away from people that they gotta see that you don't mind throwing away your freedom for them to respect you. You know, there's a lot of peace when you get away from them type of niggas, man, that type of crowd. You gotta be the type of dude that don't mind throwing away your freedom. And I was like, okay, I see he ain't no bitch now. But the fact that they think like that, you should hang around them, man. Yeah.
You know, a nigga trying to pop your woman when you gone, but he ain't trying to take care of your children. You know, it's just an awful backwards culture, man.
Yeah, well, we got like 1 or 2 scriptures. Yeah, y'all do.
Like say if I'm a street nigga and this brother just you know, he just on a good path. If someone trying to shoot me in the car, of course these people don't care. They gonna shoot me and him.
Guilty by association. This is the book of St. John, chapter 14, verse 27. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give not unto you, not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. So we're not meant to be here worrying, man. Our peace is in the promises that we see flourishing in the earth, man, for the elect of Israel, beginning with the elect of Israel. But eventually, even all Israel is going to be good, man. And that's a thing of peace, too, because you see our people, man, we know one day all them niggas going to be good, man. All these YNs and E, ratchet, man, like eventually they going to be good. We just going through the process, man. And that's the peace, all right, that's keeping us in the midst of all this, man. You know?
And don't let Satan put a different vision in your mind. The light at the end of the tunnel is the kingdom, man. And as long as that's the light at the end of your tunnel, nothing can go wrong for you, man. Like even if we so-called go get unalived, we'll be back with Yahweh Shai and wait on this thing to go down, man. All right. We'll close on one. We'll close it out.
This is Philippians 1 and 21. For to me to live is Hamashiach Yahushua, and to die is gain.
Yep. Yeah, it's beautiful. Cause look, if you're down here on this planet Earth, you're really not alive, man. If you're down here on the planet Earth in this incarnation, you're really not. Look how many times we coughed and sneezed and shit, and we gotta do all these things just to not go on a deteriorating path. All right, then you witness so many family members dying, loved ones, schoolmates, classmates, whatever. And it's death all around, right? But then when you go back to the spirit world, you're free. You back in paradise, man. So really, it's a win-win as long as you're in this truth, man.
Just live for Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, if we're down here, you just live for Yahweh Shai.
The only thing worth living for, man. Everything else is extra, man. It's something to do until we get back on the mission, man.
Yep. But with that, we hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, we want to give all honor and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Hakadash.
Double honor to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone as well. Peace and blessing, health and wellness to the house today with the elect. Abba, Shalom. Shalom. The water for tuning in. Good work.